people who see themselves as stewards of the land, we're putting less chemical into the environment. And then for people who want to eliminate chemical residue in the ingredients in their food, we're also taking that out, we're eliminating that chemical that's going into the food supply. So we get that healthier, safer, and sort of a premium food ingredient at the end of the process.
While farming is often thought of as a low-tech sector, feeding a growing planet in a sustainable fashion requires new, tech-driven solutions that will help farmers increase yields, yet protect the environment at the same time. Regina-based Precision AI is doing just that, putting artificial intelligence and swarms of robots and drones to work to create a precision farming system that will put greener foods on our plates.
Precision AI is based in Regina, Saskatchewan, and that puts us about a 6-hour drive from 44% of the arable land in Canada. So we're right in the middle of the agriculture business, and we're in ag tech. And really our business is about we're creating the intelligence to eliminate chemical residue from the food supply. And the idea is we're going to create healthier and safer food for everybody, Canada and the world eventually. The thing we realized right away is about 80% of the chemical that's sprayed in traditional ways goes into the ground, it's wasted. But it also then goes into our environment. So a lot of that chemical is going into the crop, it's going into the ground, into the environment. So by precisely spraying only the weeds, we're taking that chemical out of the environment, we're taking it out of the food supply, we're saving the grower the cost of those chemicals that aren't actually doing anything, they're actually going into the environment, into the crop. And so we get the immediate benefit of saving them on their input costs, because chemicals are about 30% of their input costs on a typical farm. So as the drone flies over the field, the cameras that are capturing images of all of the plants in the field, and the artificial intelligence then has to discern between the shapes and the colors, which are the weed, which are the crop plants, recognize those accurately enough and fast enough so that as we're flying over them, we can either map it in the case of the survey drone or spray it in the case of the See and Spray drone. We knew we needed to find some drone researchers, and Mitacs, University of Regina, found that researcher, put that project together, helped us get the funding, and then launched that much earlier than we could have if we were trying to do it on our own and locating our own talent.
In the case of Precision AI, they know what they are doing. They are innovative. It's not IT, but they have great idea. They are doing some of the research, but they want to move to more challenging problem. So he mentioned to me about this, the work that they want to do. Basically, they want to use a set of robots to conduct weed mapping and weed spraying missions. My idea to tackle this project is have a set of both aerial and ground robots to collaborate for weed mapping and weed spraying missions. So initially, Greg and his company, they want only to use drones. But my idea is sometimes it's hard for a drone to do spraying in some critical regions. So it's better to have like a ground robot. Ground robot has a better, maybe sometimes angle for spraying. That's why I combine both. I want my impact to go beyond the academia. Okay, so here, as you can see with this example, we are talking socio-economic impact. I mean, Saskatchewan, it's a huge province. I mean, it's the size of a country in Europe, for example. And when you are having this robot conducting these missions, as you can see, the impact is huge.
We take that latest research, that cutting edge research, we think about how we're going to apply it to real world practical problems and bringing those together. Because my experience is the researchers are excited to see practical applications of what they've been working on in their academic lives. And we've got some great agriculture partners that are very interested in finding new approaches to some of the problems that they've been wrestling with their whole careers. So one of the things that we have to optimize as a startup is we need to do these things very quickly and agile, but also when they're finished, we need to be able to move on to the next project. We need to be able to reconfigure our teams. We need to be able to adjust. And one of the things that Mitacs, its approach on bringing people in, and then the funding to help with that agility has been key to us. It's one of the things that our team now wants to build on is now we want to do much more in the way of Mitacs collaboration because we've seen how well it's worked up till now.
On the one hand, we have innovative companies such as Precision AI with specific problems to solve and not having all the expertise they need in-house. And on the other hand, we have experts and researchers at universities, often working in isolation. They're talented problem solvers who would greatly benefit from experience outside of academia. My role is to connect them and support Canadian innovation to benefit us all. I work for Mitacs because I want to support Canadian innovation. I want to support companies to be more successful, and I want to support students and junior researchers in their careers. They get experience here, so they stay in Canada. That's absolutely the best.
Agriculture is a global endeavor. And so we think our technology can help people that perhaps now can't afford to use chemical weed protection. They just can't afford it in the traditional way. But with our approach, perhaps they can. So taking those sort of techniques to places where they're just not practical right now. And then for the large commercial farms in Canada, the idea about being able to get that cost savings, be able to put less chemical into the environment, being able to reduce and eliminate chemical residue in the food products. These are global things. So everywhere around the world, people want to reduce their input costs, reduce the cost of food. They want to get as much protection for their crops as they can, as is practical. I think there's a universal appreciation of trying to take better care of our environment and being more thoughtful about the chemicals that are going into the environment, and as well as then the chemicals that are coming into our bodies as we consume our food. So we absolutely think this is a global opportunity to work with people on the food that sustains us in a more sustainable way.